everyone, and welcome to Mortal Spheres. This is Mortal Spheres. This is the last game of the week. Hello, everyone. We are here. We are ready to do some shenanigans, and we're all here. Everyone's here. We're all ready. Before we go around and say hello to all of these wonderful, beautiful faces around the screen, let's do the opening links. Go and check out all of those things. We've got social links. We've got ways you can contact us. We've got ways you can support us. We've got information about our sponsors. Massive shout out to Mage Hand Press and Bird in the Storm Publishing, who make this all possible. And we also have links to the websites where you can get 10 to 50% discount using our special codes if you check out the panels below the screen. Oh, hi, Jess. How are you?
Struggling at life because Twitch was open and not muted and I was muted. But I'm good. How are you?
Fan-dabby-dozy.
Beautiful. I missed you guys. This feels like it's been a hot second.
It does. How like, is it just 2 weeks we've been out? It feels longer.
I think so.
Looks like we got
It's our time.
I think so. Indeed. I'm really excited for this session to kind of kick you guys back in gear and figure out just what does it mean to be quickened and what are you going to do with that and how do you feel about the study. So, I had a clever question for everyone and then I forgot it, so it's fine. When we go around doing introductions. I'm on Twitter at Burst of Hope. I'm playing the sad GM today, but don't mind me. Hans.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm good. I'm trying to manage having a dual screen life again for a second, so I'm a little discombobulated. But Hans, my good friend Hans, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. I have a full-blown, like, kung fu fight going on in the background behind me, so if you guys hear things going on, that's on purpose. Nothing is wrong. That's my cover story. Yeah, I'm Hans. Good to be here. Everyone give all your advantage to Jess tonight to make her feel better. That way the game is that much more exciting. Right? Lots of good donations for Jess to make our lives more difficult. Yeah.
It's a good point, actually. We've got a ton of stuff that's been sitting around. We probably don't remember what we've got after a few weeks, right? So far, Jess has got 4 rerolls. Hans has got 2 rerolls and a d6. I'll summarize what you've got when you've done your...
Very good, very good. Zelda, I missed you.
Hello. Hi, I missed you too. I'm glad you're here this week and that we can talk to you.
Yeah.
I am playing Say, the ex-Olympian, part cyborg, superwoman extraordinaire. And she has just gone and grabbed a whole bunch of junk food for everyone, last I remember. And I just want to share junk food with people. I'm enjoying the junk food sharing life. And yeah, if you want to find me, like me, not Say, me, I'm at Zelianomi, just above here. That's my Twitter, and that's where all my games are going to be. So, thanks for listening to me rant. Because that's what
Such
that
a
felt
hard rant, big rant, all the
like.
rant.
My TED Talk.
Drop the mic.
Starting with 3 rerolls today, say.
Ooh. I feel like, I don't know, historically you might need those. We'll see. Alice! Oh, hi! I've watched a lot of things since I've last gamed with you that you've been in, and I miss you, so welcome.
I'm kind of worried as to what you've watched now. Like, oh no. I'm glad you're back. I'm super glad that we can all play together again. I am Alice, White Rabbit Pick on Twitter, and I play Emery Chapman, which I think at the moment she's rather grouchily wanting some like space from everything, and she's sitting in like this room with a bed, eating fish and chips and drinking beer is what she's doing right now. I relate.
This is true. Yeah, we just have to replace fish and chips with like gyoza or ramen for actual Alice.
They're so bad. I wanted it for like 2 weeks. And I just haven't.
Oh, sweet meat.
Sure.
Last and of course not least, Scrat.
Thank you. Oh, hi. I'm Scrat. I play Quanbrek. Quanbrek is. Actually, Quanbrek was in a bit of a quandary, if you will, last episode, because they tried to do something themselves and completely ignored the you have to be back at the lab at this time thing. I'm starting with 2 rerolls. Emery is starting with 3.
I guess that's my cue to start this shenanigans going. No, we're not. I don't subscribe to the quandary. Accept this potato. No gracias. But yeah, that seems like a safe bet to kind of look into just what is happening to Quan. So the time ticked down. You're like, yeah, I can translate. See here, who needs a white room? And I'm like, okay, cool, let's do this. I believe you're kind of stuck in some static intermediary. So why don't we roll me? Yeah, okay, cool. A D100 for funsies.
Oh, yay! A 4.
Out of 100. Oh, we are off to a great start. So, Quan, you tried with at least it wasn't not. I would say it's not productive of you. You tried really hard to see if you could translate back to the White Room, I believe, or just somewhere in general, and you realized at the current facilities you had and the resources and what you knew of your skills, you were just stuck in the exact same geolocation, but could kind of acknowledge that there were certain sort of parallel schemas around you, right? Time ticked down, and you did not go back to the White Room of your own volition, so you felt sucked into some sort of space that wasn't remotely voluntary, but not uncomfortable of sorts. With that 4, I would say that you... Oh dear.
That oops was specifically for Hans.
What was...
I went
in chat.
If I could see other people's cards, and it accidentally says that I'm stealing his card or asking.
You're stealing all the ciphers? Jeez, didn't we just give you an oddity? Gosh.
I didn't mean to.
That's okay.
Well,
I still have no idea what
steal my
ciphers
card?
you have. I want to see cards.
It's requesting to steal.
Oh, steal. Oh, see, I see. Now I'm doing it. Okay, it's fine. Roll 20 is great, guys. Quan,
Yes.
you've lost contact with Philip.
Yes.
You're being compressed into a really dark space. You feel like you're being shrunken down, like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids style. And all of those mental walls and those facilities that you can close your mind off to other people, the floodgates are open. You feel like you feel bare, you feel exposed. And how does that make you feel emotionally?
But I do prefer to be wearing my lab coat. I don't mind the being alone part. That's okay. Being exposed, I mean, I'm not one to take care of my body. And I guess I do have a bit of probably. I do have a bit of a. I'm not the first to open my lab coat to anyone, so I'm not feeling great.
I'm gonna roll with that, hopefully, metaphor, and with your mind being opened and exposed in a way that you haven't done in a long time. You have a flashback moment. What would be your earliest memory as a child?
Oh boy. Earliest memory would probably be the first time that I was on the couch and my dad was watching something, and I went and changed the channel, and my dad wasn't too happy. I figured out how to use the remote. I pressed the button. I remember that. And the thing changed, and I thought I did great, and then he was like, "Get out of here! What in the heck are you doing? Changing the channel when I'm trying to watch the game? Get out of here, kid!"
Alright, didn't realize I was having such a sound issue here. My bad. Okay, so just kind of centered around you and your dad. That scene kind of darkens and bleeds into a very unfamiliar setting to your consciousness. You see a lot of flashing lights, a lot of tubes, like if you're at a bank teller and they kind of submit money to the ATM that way, but they're much larger. You see people being squeezed in and out of them, almost like a traveling system. You see skyscrapers that are floating off the ground. Nothing you would have ever experienced on Earth. And it pans in, zooms in on a baby swaddled in a blue blanket, being held by what we assume to be its mother. And they send them off into a tube, and you follow that tube. Your consciousness gives you the visual of that tube spiraling off into the distance of this weird city. And you see the end of that tube's tunnel doesn't open, but it disappears into some sort of rift. And you see that baby at the front of your dad's doorstep in a little basket.
I don't remember this. I don't remember my dad ever picking up a wee bab. I was an only child. Maybe this is today. Thank you very much, Kentucky Hawkeye, who has resubbed for 4 months in a row and gives me a re-roll. Con will go and have a look.
At the doorstep?
Yeah.
Sure. You can kind of reach out and control what part of the weird pseudo-memory you're viewing. I mean, you start seeing this baby cry, and you see a younger version of your dad opening the door, very perplexed, distraught.
On a reflex, when I see my dad open the door, I sort of hide behind the wall.
And he's looking around frantically, trying to figure out what happened. He's like, "This ain't no firehouse. What the hell? What's going on?" And he picks up the baby gently by the basket handle and brings it inside. The scene slowly fades, and if you're trying to grasp to go inside the door, it's just kind of blackening from the inside, from the outside of your vision, going inward, focusing on the last bit of your dad closing the door.
As things are blacking out, you just sort of hear Quan per kid.
And with that, you pop back in. You feel like you are expanding almost instantaneously, and it's all disconcerting, and you are back in the White Room, not around anyone, kind of in like one of those sub rooms that Emery would be in right now, in your own little space. And we will leave you right there at the moment. Say I forget, did you happen to come back with all your provisions?
I did leave. I took Quan out and I went to the nearest gas station-esque area and picked up as many sweets and goodies and treats as I could, and made my way back to the White Room facility, bringing in those and a duffel bag full of my own clothes and stuff like that.
Sure. if you kind of think about it, I mean, you walk in and you're holding your duffel bag and all the treats. No one gives you a second glance. No one asks you for authorization. Any of the doors that would normally require some sort of like badge, scanner. No, nothing. And they don't. Once you get to the room, like the reception room for the actual study, a different lady is there, and she doesn't even look at you. She just opens a door, but the door slides open from the floor, and she doesn't explain anything to you. It just looks like one of those McDonald's tubes to slide down into. You're like,
I have a lot of stuff in my arm. Is sliding down really? Is there just a door that I can walk through? Please?
I mean, that's a door, and if you walk through it, you will get to the place. Like, what do you want? It'll be fun, right?
So I'm picturing like a McDonald's like tube slide. I might be wrong on this one, but okay.
This is the most efficient way to get back to the place that you need to be. You remember how long the tunnel was for you guys.
Distance isn't really a problem. But okay. Do you recommend like food first, or are you gonna throw my stuff in after me, or I'm gonna...
I mean, is it like carry a dead body capacity duffel bag or like a standard duffel bag?
It's pretty standard. It's not ridiculously big.
Okay, sure. The receptionist will look at you really bored and be like, you can carry it with you? I don't know, sit down, hug it, slide down. Pretty simple.
It's like I'm in a fun house, and I'll just sit down with it and like pile on all the stuff that I bought on top of it and try and refrain from saying we as sarcastically as I go down.
Oh my god, why refrain? Roll me a speed check. Just straight speed.
This is the type of check that I want to have be low.
Yeah, fail miserably. Do it.
Remember, I do have an edge of 3, so...
Oh, right. So you get a free level of effort anytime you want to expend it. Okay. Yeah, easy peasy. You're not losing your bags. You find it amusing, if not efficient for your speedy ways. And you're able to gently glide down into the white room.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see anybody else?
That
Anyone
is
else?
entirely dependent on what Harold did, because I believe at this point you would not have sights on Emery or Quan. And you got back before the timer, like well before the timer.
If Harold isn't out there, in the meantime, I will just go drop my clothes in the assigned room that I was given before I left.
Fair. Speaking of Harold, what do? Post-desert, what do?
So we've all gotten back, and Emery ordered fish and chips, and I said I wanted some too.
Mhm.
And while she's been off in her own room doing her own thing, I've been in this common room that's between this like quad of rooms that we have. I've just been sitting there waiting for Say to show back up with Quan to make sure the whole unit is back together.
The absolute unit is absolutely not there. You see, Say slide in and just appear into the room with many goodies, bags, duffel bags, all sorts of accoutrements, but
Do I
not a
literally
single Quan.
slide in?
Yeah, it's like from ground level, they just kind of pop out of nowhere, like they came out of a tunnel and just like slide on their bum.
I swear this place is a circus.
Where's Quan?
Oh, he just asked me to drop him off. He said he'd find his own way back, and... Well, I mean, if I spent a lot of time wondering where Quan was, I probably wouldn't be back either. They'll just send people to pick him up. It's not a big deal, right?
Harold just gets up and walks out of the door of the room to where he imagines he's going to the parking lot.
I mean, you see Quan nowhere. Quan disappeared, and I mean, the parking lot's a parking lot.
So I'm going in the general direction of the parking lot.
Mhm.
If I get there successfully, I'll talk about part 2.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, no one's going to stop you. You're still well within your reason of freedoms.
Okay. So say his car is out there. Maybe I can hear a car cooling down and or smell a car after it's been driving for a while.
Sure. I believe Say would have like described the car to you as a safety precaution when they left. So yeah, you're able to find it easy peasy.
Harold's probably going off the auditory clues of like pinging metal from cooling down or that smell of a car exhaust first and then walking in the direction of the car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I'm going to look at the tire tread.
I mean, for an Olympic athlete, you're disappointed in the lack of care given to this car. Probably needs a couple like regular upkeep kind of situation. You're assuming there's an oil change required.
I don't know. According to Zelda and Jet here, it is a super fancy
jeez.
sports car. So,
We went all out.
so I am now deeply disappointed by the fact that I no longer have an exhaust trail that I can follow, but I do have a distinctive tire tread. And so with that, Harold goes into his pocket and, unscrews the little flashlight that's there and starts following those tracks out of the parking lot.
Okay. With your abilities, do you have anything in general that would aid you in this or a skill?
I am specialized in perception and I have an ability in solving mysteries.
Red is a dangerous color. Okay.
Fastest color.
For someone,
Scientifically proven.
it's true.
Plus 10 horsepower.
Oh damn. Vroom, vroom. For the normal person that is not Harold, this would be a fairly impossible task to just do without any sorts of fancy tools. But for you, there's something innate, and you haven't put much thought into why you can perceive on a stronger level than other people. So it'd be a level 2 roll for you to be able to follow the trail easily.
Okay, and I'm specialized, so do I have to roll anything at all?
I already bumped it down, so it was a 4
okay.
to a 2.
Got it.
Yep.
It. Okay, well, finding Quan is my primary objective here, so I'm going to spend 5 points of effort from my pool.
Okay.
I'm going to spend 2 levels of effort.
Okay.
So I will just
yeah,
succeed,
I mean,
you
you just succeed, auto succeed. You're they didn't take Quan very far. They just basically found the first abandoned factory and dumped him off.
It's okay.
So
That's just
yeah,
more for Harold to shake his head at as he walks alone down the road.
right. It's like probably within 2 miles of the facility.
Mm-hmm.
And as you take time to get there, are you trying to scope out Quan? I'm trying to get a good timeline here.
Yeah, I want to. If I see anything that looks more Quan-like on the way than my destination, that's definitely where I'm going.
Mm-hmm. And if you make contact with Quan in the factory, are you trying to actually make yourself known, or are you trying to just observe?
my current thought, as Harold's walking down the street, his current thought is, I'm just going to pick that guy up and carry him back.
Right. Fair. You're able to hear amongst a lot of these factory old buildings. You pick up on a weird squeaky, staticky sound. And you vaguely remember that sound being the AI known as Philip. But it sounds pretty distraught.
Okay. Is it like laying on the ground as I walk, or is it just out in the distance?
You can tell that it's farther away. So like you haven't stepped inside the factory building, so you can tell it's coming from inside the building.
I will go in that direction.
Mm-hmm. You see a lot of really hodgepodge wires and shenanigans and clearly breadcrumb trails of Quan essence here, but no Quan. You do see a little earpiece. And you wonder if the stains on the floor by it are fresh or not. And it's just squabbling and crying undistinguishably.
The comm is screaming and crying, not the stains are screaming and crying, right? Because one of those is really disturbing.
No, like the stains on the ground could easily be like any mechanic oil spill, but you're like, in this sense, you're like, do robots cry? What is going on? No.
I'm pretty sure we've all heard his robot cry by now.
Yeah, Philip's crying.
Harold just picks it up. Hey, I'm gonna find Quan for you. Just hold on.
Quan, wait, who's?
I can hear you fine from here. I don't have to. Just hold on for a bit.
Who's speaking?
I'm Harold.
Harold. Oh, you are one of the other test subjects that Quan was with, right? How are you here? What are you doing? Where's Quan? Quan left me.
Okay, that's a lot. Let me just put you away for safekeeping. Mentally, Harold is fantasizing about just being able to stick Quan in his pocket as well, so he wouldn't have to worry about all this. But that's fine.
Yeah, you can kind of glance at the screen that Quan's been working at, and you see a lot of numbers and algorithms of... You know what? Make me an intelligence roll.
Very good, very good. I'm hoping it's very hard. I am spending no effort on this.
Okay.
And doing nothing with a reroll, etc. Oh.
Sorry. You have common sense and mystery solving abilities. You're like, jinkies. Quan was trying to find a recursion on his own. Any recursion. And you're starting to wonder if that worked or not.
Well, how are my senses when it comes to these reality blip things? Can I do anything about that?
Your normal 5 senses don't really provide you with anything. It feels like time has been disturbed here. The space doesn't seem disorienting, but time feels a little wibbly wobbly.
Okay. I guess I'm just gonna try to like reach around and touch at things and see if anything becomes unusual.
To you, it just seems like rudimentary science jargon. And I don't know. Is Harold more curious about it? Do you want to fiddle with it, or are you content with just leaving?
No, I'm not gonna leave him here. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna yell out, Quan, in 5 minutes, I'm unplugging everything. And then I'm gonna see if I can figure anything out in the next 5 minutes before I unplug everything.
Fair. How are you gonna try and figure things out? What are we doing? We're looking at this equipment. Are you gonna do anything with it?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Philip out, and I'm gonna put Philip up to my ear. Okay, Philip, if we're gonna get Quan back, we've got to figure this out together because I don't know what I'm looking at.
I mean, I never said I wanted to get Quan back. I just didn't want to be left alone in the factory.
You know, I gotta admit, there's times where I feel a lot like that, but I think we're gonna have to get Quan back
Okay.
because honestly, I'm gonna leave you here.
Okay. Quan was trying to get me to scan the interdimensional space around here and figure out if we could travel. And all I could sense was we were all in the same coordinates all at the same time in multiple dimensions. And there was a moment where he blipped out and I couldn't hear him. But then he came back and was like, haha, I did it on my own, you see? And I'm like, I didn't because I couldn't see you. And then he disappeared. For realsies.
Okay. Can you show me where in the room that all happened?
So, do you want to be a maid?
Can you
or a
plug me
fighter?
into the
I
desktop?
can show you how to be a shield.
I imagine that's within my possibilities. Yeah. So,
Beep. Oh, good. Finally, I can see. I was getting so used to that monocle and I didn't have it anymore and I couldn't get any visual aspects on anything. And Quan kept saying, yeah, you see here. And I just couldn't see. Now I see you. Oh, wow, you're handsome. He was standing right where you're standing. Right here at the desk.
okay. Okay.
Thank you very much to Potato Hollow, who gives a sub to Phantom Rollbooth. Phantom Rollbooth, who also donated 13 bits earlier. You'll be pleased to know, Jess. But Tater has also leveled that out. So thank you very much. You have a reroll to gift, Phantom Rollbooth.
Bless up.
Really, Phantom Rollbooth, you owe that re-roll to Jess for all the things you've been doing.
The torture.
Okay, so Philip, you're telling me I should just stand right here and just go do what Quan does.
I mean, Quan just does a lot of things inside of their head, so I'm not on that level yet, and I don't have the right sensors and attachments to really like understand what they're thinking. Kinda. I can just assume with past experiences, but I don't know. I think he thought real hard to just, poof.
Okay, how about this? In 5 minutes, if I'm not back, make some sort of loud sound.
I mean, you heard me screaming, right?
Yeah.
That was
But
loud.
I don't know how this works with the whole. Okay, we'll just find out the hard way. Let me see if I can do the thing he did.
Okay. Concentrate really hard.
Yeah, you talking isn't helping.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And Harold is uneasily trying to focus his mind and meditate like he's been told so many times he should do.
I feel like you're stressing out too much.
Philip, I'm gonna unplug you.
You're still here. You're not even glitching out. Your nose is twitching. Are you okay? It's not working. No, you can't open your eyes. Oh.
Yeah. I don't think it's working.
I mean, a lot of what Quan makes really hodgepodge doesn't work for other people, so I don't know.
Yeah. All right, well, I guess we wait until 5 minutes is up and then we unplug everything.
Wait, do you see that little monitor there? That's a little pop-out tablet. Do you think maybe you can take that and a cord? Because that would then I could bother Quan about upgrading me. Like that would be really useful.
We'll see how things go in 5 minutes.
I just want my emotions gone. They're so not useful.
Yeah, I feel that way too.
Well, how do you handle emotions, Harold?
I'm not really very good at doing that. I don't do that.
I mean, you're a human, so you're inherently given emotions. So what do you do with them?
I get really angry and I lash out and break stuff.
Oh, is that allowed?
No.
Okay. What happens if I get angry?
I'm sure you will find out.
You're not gonna unplug me, right? You were just kidding?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to unplug you.
But I can be useful. Just
I mean, let's face it, Philip. You and me, we're not really that good at getting along together, right?
I mean, you listen to me a lot more than Quad does.
I have very good hearing. I mean, that's really the problem. And there's no one else to listen to right now. But I'm really just here to look for Quan.
Okay, bye.
I'm not unplugging you now. I said you had 5 minutes.
Okay,
If Quan comes back, I don't have to unplug you at all.
I don't think they're coming back. If I remember, I set a timer for when you guys were supposed to be back, and that time is quickly approaching.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe 5 minutes would ensue fairly uneventfully. Maybe a few scritchy whimpers from poor Philip.
Man, I hope this does not do anything bad because I am unplugging everything.
Oh, well, it depends on the order of unplugging.
I'm starting with the power. Whatever looks like the biggest power cord, I'm unplugging.
Okay.
That's
Reminder that you plugged in Philip to the system.
I'm probably going to unplug Philip at some point, but if I kill Quan, it's a decision that I've already made at this point. Just so I just see Scratty. He's like in the corner. It's like, I'm just going for it.
Oh no, I'm good.
I mean-
I did have everything running off a generator, so all you'd have to do is turn the generator off.
Yeah. You unplugging everything is why Quan rolled a 4.
Click.
Oh, that hurt. You sparked me. I mean, I feel like you should have unplugged me first, but you told me to be quiet, so I didn't say anything.
Yeah, you're really not running off that generator, are you?
Oh, you only put me into sync, not to charge.
I feel like an old man with an iPhone. It's great.
So, okay, I promise if you want, you could put me in your ear, but maybe not because I don't have any disinfectant
not.
wipes and Quan puts me in their ear. I don't know.
I
Okay,
can hear
so
you from here. Why would I want to put you in my ear?
right. So, do you have like a chest pocket? I've always wanted to be in like a pen protector, pocket protector.
I tell you what, just tell me when we're supposed to be back. And if Quan's not back here by then, I will probably just leave you here.
No. Don't you have to go back too?
Right.
But why can't you take me?
I'm just making that choice right now.
You're choosing not to take me?
Yeah, you're really a lot.
I know, but that's not my fault. I got somehow programmed with emotions. I'm really useful. And look, in the white room, I got all adapty, and I really just want that monocle back. Like, just take me back to that room, please.
You don't have like a volume control, do you?
Okay. Yes. I'll tell you a secret. You say, okay, Philip. And then I'll do whatever you want.
Okay, Philip, stop talking. Yeah, that's a lot better. Harold continues to wait until he thinks the time is over.
Yeah, I would say you wait about an hour and you're like, okay, nothing's happening.
Okay,
Time
I'm
is
just
dwindling and you need to get back.
I'm so bad. I'm going to walk right out of there and leave Philip behind. You left Philip and Quan back there. Okay? I feel only half as bad.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, you walked back, no problem. Except maybe the
my
guilt
God.
in your heart for not taking Philip.
As far as I can tell in the future, this would be like the equivalent of not picking up somebody's phone.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're probably supposed to feel pretty bad about that, aren't you? Oh well. All right. Harold's clearly a psychopath.
That's okay. Maybe you were worried about mechanical scans and stuff. Yeah, you get back, and by the time you get back, you can smell Quan in the room, but Quan is not visible to you.
Did I have to go down the slide?
Roll me a d4.
I did ask for this, so what am I saying?
Evens. They give you an entrance on a vertical wall of the room. It is not big enough to be a door for you to simply walk through. It looks like a slide, but you have to climb up into it. Like it's at your chest level. So you're gonna have to like take a chair, step into it, hoist yourself in, do something. Parkour, dive in face first.
Yeah, can I just jump up to it and then like grab the lip and kick my feet in?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
You have the physicality for it, no roll needed.
Cool.
How do you want to end up in the room? You want a pillow slide in like say, or something cooler?
If anybody asks, Harold didn't have a choice about it, but yeah, he's just gonna totally slide in that way.
Yeah, you are here. You weren't gone long, like an hour and a half tops. So depending on what Say was doing, they might see you. She might see you. Emery, are you still holed up in your room, contemplating fish and chips?
I think she would have finished them and come out by now.
Okay.
Sat in the communal area.
Word. So you see Harold pop in, and at this point, it's not new to you guys. You're just popping in and out of this room. Just okay.
You're back then.
Yeah. Say, did you see Quan at all when you left? Like what they were doing or anything like that?
He just said he was gonna make a generator and do some tests.
Yeah, I think Quan tried to do some sort of relocation thing by themselves, so I don't know where all that's gonna go.
That just sounds reckless enough to be Quan. I mean,
Yeah, also I left his personal assistant there.
you left Philip?
Is that what? Yeah, that one.
But won't he need that?
You left an entire person and an assistant at the factory in the first place.
Yeah, but I mean, Quan isn't really my responsibility. I mean, I hope that he's comes back on time, but I mean, I'm not his mom.
So I'm supposed to feel bad about leaving this little robot by itself.
No, but Quan might need it.
Well, he can go get it then if we're so concerned.
Upon Harold's arrival, you realize the time is just towards the end of that window that they recommended you be back by. Neither Say nor Emery have detected Quan's presence. But like I said earlier, Harold, you can definitely smell Mr. Brick in the room. Quan, you're in your room. You've been shoved in there, squeezed through time and space. How are we feeling?
Probably a little upside down backwards.
Yeah. That's,
How I imagine that feels anyway.
It's like half your time in this room, upside down backwards.
Probably.
And what would you like to do?
Figure out where exactly I am. Have I done it? Did I do it? Have I done it?
You recognize the walls. They mirror the large part of the white room to be curved, very vibrant. If you kind of shake your head back and forth, assessing the room situation, you'll notice the gold flecks of dust. But you're on a soft, pillowy, queen-size bed.
I look at the bed of suspicion. Why? Why is it there?
You don't have that voice inside your ear to explain things to you. So if you're asking aloud, you get no answer.
Where are the workbenches? I'll try and leave the room.
The second you have the intention to leave, a door manifests and you're able to leave.
Ah! Now we're talking!
And you pop out right in front of your friendos.
I think Emery's just used to it by now. Looks at him, looks back down at her feet, looks around the room.
Ah! I did it!
Yeah.
Am I on time?
Is he on time?
How before I answer that, how does Say react to Quan popping out?
Mute.
He's maniacally giggling that he did it, which is no different than normal, I think. And maybe raising an eyebrow, but I have like bags of things if you want food.
Are you offering that directly to Quan?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want a cookie?
Oh Lord.
Yes, thank you.
I'll toss him a bag of like mini cookie bites.
Of course.
And then, as a test, I'd like to try and liquefy them in the bag.
Is it always like this?
Give me an intellect roll.
This is just a test, so I won't be putting any effort or anything into it.
That's fine. It's mostly a composure due to your excitement and reacquainting yourself with the room. They get soft, like that I didn't finish baking kind of way.
Do they get
But
hot
they don't
too?
fully liquefy. They do not get hot.
Damn it.
It's a room temperature cookie dough. Oh man.
Do I still have the skill in producing things while I'm in the white room?
Yeah, I guess possibly. Who knows? You try to modify someone's real food rather than producing something, so it didn't quite work as adjusted.
Fair, that's totally fair. What I'm thinking is I'd like to try and get one of them whipped cream nozzles and produce one of those and then try and pressurize the bag.
Those were perfectly good cookies.
Oh, Say, I'm sorry. You see this red star tip show up in your hand. A hole appears in the bag to which you can kind of seal the nozzle in. And if you start thinking about pressurizing the bag, it then explodes in your hands and you're left with a mess of cookie dough, and I need everyone to roll me speed defense to see if you get a face full of cookie dough.
I'm
You
so
went with nitrous. It wasn't a good choice. Of course, that's on brand for both of you. Y'all are having none of Quan's shit. And you're just like,
Emery's not even looking. She just moves slightly to the side as it flies past and then goes back to her normal seated position.
Okay, so I'm trained in speed defense. Does that just
Biggie.
mean I reduce 1 from challenge?
yeah.
Okay. I also have an edge of 3.
You don't have a Quan defense though, so
Yeah. Okay. So mechanically, really quick, you have an edge of 3, so you still like anytime effort is applied, you just let me know before the roll happens. So your first level of effort is always free for you with that edge, but just you have to state it before the roll. With a 9, you don't get face full of cookie dough, but you do get some of it on like your prosthesis, and you look down or left to deal with that.
Why?
Just testing.
Why so violent in the test?
No, I wasn't trying to be violent. I was trying to make a cookie dough like easy cheese, but easy cookie.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Were you trying to do a recursion on your own too?
Yes, I definitely was.
What were you going to do if you landed in a sand pit full of worms and giant scorpions again?
Oh, I'm sure it would have worked itself out.
Because you would hide in a car and hope somebody else would come along and help you with that?
Emery was literally about to go, he would have found a car.
Don't you just find that things just work themselves out eventually?
No.
Well, it's either that or you die, I guess. That's kind of the other option.
I'm fairly sure that happens to other people.
Well, yes.
Look, there's only 4 of us. And whatever we're supposed to do, I've only got 3 other people I'm willing to trust with any of the things going on here. If you're going to go off and do things that are going to get you killed by yourself, we can narrow that number down by 1.
And with that, you hear a voice respond to your comment and be like, "Oh no, we would never let you die. Didn't we state that in the study?" And you see a very tall, gangly man in another black trench coat walk up to you all. And just look so disgruntled at Quan.
I wouldn't know. I got my personal assistant to auto-fill the form for me.
Oh, your poor little AI that you've left behind. Because you couldn't be bothered to come back in time, even though we so generously gave you the limit and we warned you, and you still went off to do your own thing, and you couldn't even come back on time. Why? Why was that such a problem?
I mean, I don't think there was a problem. Do you think there was a problem? I thought it was all right.
We had to drag you back.
Oh, you dragged me back. Nah,
Yes.
damn it, I thought I'd got it all figured out.
No, we wouldn't allow that. Of course you didn't figure it out. Who do you think you are?
And Emery will stand up. Just, who do you think you are? Who are you?
My name is Dr. Kylan. Dr. Sontag for you, Quan. You can call me Kylan, but I am here to facilitate your usage of your abilities. Since apparently we are going to spend all this time waiting for you to figure out what you want to do.
I'll tell you what, why don't you tell us? We'll do it, and then we'll leave.
That's not how studies work, Emery.
Then maybe you shouldn't be too upset about the test findings when you get them.
We gave you recommended timely to come back, and Quan didn't come back. So of course, I'm disgruntled at that.
I'm surprised he came back.
I'm creating magic stars.
Wait, so you want us to use all these powers, but now you don't want us to use all these powers? What do you want? Like, you're saying that you have to limit what we're doing, but also it's a really strange
You don't
test.
realize just how good you have it. You don't realize how we've powered this room. And you don't realize that you should be doing a whole lot more in this study. You're just stuck here wandering around different places and you haven't quite figured out what you want to do. We can't even tell your intentions yet. Really,
Well,
the results are muddling.
If you're so good, why don't you do it then?
They pop out, they disappear, they pop up behind you. This room facilitates a very easy way to translate back and forth. We've even given you a safe space in the rift.
Okay, I mean, obviously, if we have it so good, then why shouldn't we be able to leave and come back freely all the time?
We are getting to that phase, but we wanted to ensure that just because we're paying you for this study, you had no malintentions. And quite frankly, we can't get a good reading on any of your intentions. And so we can't aid you in the next level of study until we figure out what exactly you want to do here.
So, do you want to ask us?
That's what I just did, isn't it?
In very complicated roundabout way, yes.
Okay, let me summarize. So you walked in on a whim, curious about star seeds, or maybe I identified being a star seed, and then we give you a hyper accelerated room to which, if you had an awakening inside of you, you would be able to translate. And now you all have translated. Great, good job. We gave you cookies.
I actually bought the cookies.
Yeah, say when I got the cookies.
Metaphorical cookies.
But why would you have metaphorical cookies when you can have real cookies?
You didn't even want the real cookies, so shut up.
I had a real cookie. I exploded it all over the room. It was fun. Everyone had a laugh.
I wouldn't call it a laugh.
At this point, I don't know if I want more duds that are tolerable or if I want to deal with you. Okay, it's fine. And you see them kind of like twitching and malfunctioning and really trying not to have a meltdown on you all. And with that, the lady with red hair walks in and just places a hand on Kylan's shoulder. I was like, really, Kylan? I think you're being a little too emotional. You should be quite excited, not upset at these folks. It's just so insufferable and intolerable, and I just...
Can I reach out whilst I'm looking at her and just read whatever she's thinking, please? If it's anything specific.
Yeah, absolutely. That is an ability. Does it cost you any intellect anymore?
I don't think it does.
Brilliant. Go ahead and
no.
roll me a d20 for scaling.
Okay. $11.
Again, you get this like general sense of enthusiasm from this woman, and Dr. Baines is just, for all intents and purposes, from what you read from her, just genuinely interested in finding your abilities and wanting to be able to hone in on those. You can't get a gauge of like any ulterior motives. Potato, so kind.
And Emery will just stare at both of them. And does sort of like a half smile.
As Dr. Baines is trying to calm down, Kylan kind of looks over at Emery, and they're like, You think you're better than all these people, and you always think you know what's going on. I just want to understand why you're even here.
Me?
Yes? Yes,
I don't think I'm better than everyone.
Well, your attitude isn't very warm or team-worthy.
Yeah, you neither.
Me? Me neither? I'm a scientist. I'm a doctor. I don't have to deal with emotions and dealing with other people's problems.
You seem
Yeah,
pretty
so is that.
emotional right now. And to be honest, this is a team. If you want us to do something, I would be a little bit more nicer and less emotional. I like these people. They're interesting. And they don't insult me. That one might, but he doesn't do it on purpose and sort of just gestures over to Quan.
Fair. I have jumped to conclusions and made assumptions, and I let my emotions get out of track. I apologize.
Looks like we got a new friend.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Now
the host
would
episode.
Yay! Now, would you be so kind as to maybe give a little insight on it, how you feel about your newly enhanced abilities and what you want to do with them,
What I want to do with them.
please?
I like learning. I want to learn more.
What a noble effort, dear. Dr. Baines just kind of looks at you adoringly.
And she gives that really sickly, sweet, like, smile back.
Say, you seem to be more talkative than before. Are you feeling better?
I guess I'm just more used to the people that are around me.
Mm-hmm.
Walking in with a room full of strangers is a lot different than walking into a room full of people that you know. Right?
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Yes, how silly of me. I'm just so curious why someone so prodigious would want to be here. And just what do you make of all the abilities you have?
I didn't say I didn't want to be here. I just said that if we wanted to leave and come back freely, I just didn't see the correlation between having something so good and whatever he was talking about.
Yes, of course. Yes, we are not looking to take away your agency. We just want to make sure that your abilities are used for inherently good things, obviously. And everyone squint, like, you see Dr. Maribeth squint at him and just be like, thank you. Yes, in lesser words, that is true. We are simply looking. There are tools, my dear, and items and things that we can provide for you to hone in on these skills, but we need to ensure that you don't have any malicious intents, or maybe,
Have I done something to lead you to that conclusion? That I do something that way?
No. I mean, our results are inconclusive amongst all of you. I believe we are struggling to understand your understanding of it, and to be quite frank, we haven't had a single set of individuals awaken so viscerally. So, I need to, I'm at a loss for words. I want to know what you guys are thinking. And quite frankly, I can't look into your thoughts. Stares at Emery.
Fuck.
Oh, to be young again. Quan, are you experiencing any nausea, heartburn, or indigestion from your drag back into this room?
When you say any, do you mean more than the normal amount?
Yes, yes.
No. Yes.
Okay. I mean, given the fact that you ate quite the bucket full of buffalo wings and a lot of pizza and your just general dietary decisions have been poor, I don't expect anything less of you. But
You kidding me? This is the best I've eaten in years.
yeah, no numb appendages, no loss of hearing, nothing.
I can't hear Philip anymore.
Oh, your little AI. Unfortunately, that wasn't something infused with your DNA, so we couldn't drag it back. But I'm curious to see if maybe you could bring them back later.
I could give it a go.
Okay, so Quan, what do you need? What do you want? You were the most aggressive in trying to find a way to travel, to translate to a different recursion. What did you find?
I just like figuring things out. We found a car and lots of yellow jello. And then some crabs.
No, we observed all that, dear. I'm talking about your time outside of the room.
Oh. Well, I found a car. And then I got a yellow smoothie. And then I went to this abandoned factory where I was working out recursions and I was making a lot of headway.
By gods, Maribeth, can we just implant that one? Can we just not? Can we just make him mute and just deal with his inventions? Can we neural implant? That's all I'm saying, Maribeth.
I'm actually really, really, really smart. If you just tell me what it is you're trying to figure out, I could probably figure it out for you.
Yes, indeed. Quan, you poor thing. I'm so sorry we have to leave you in the dark like this. Before we tell you what we want to figure out from you, we have to understand.
Looks like we got a new friend.
What do you want from this? How was the travel back in general?
Thank you very much, Scorched Ice, for the raid there. Welcome in, everyone. Let's see. What did I want out of this? A couple of quid and to understand what you're doing back here.
Okay, I should rephrase that. Obviously, you will be paid appropriately for your time at the study. Look here. And she pulls out fresh stacks of what would be the currency. At this point, we might have a universal currency. Who knows? But they're very crisp, never before used bills. And hands a bundle to each and every one of you.
What the hell do we do with this?
It's the currency, the compensation that you've been desiring, that you've made mention of several times, and we did tell you you would be compensated weekly.
I know, but I mean, who carries paper anymore? You mean I've got to walk to a bank? Oh, actually, when I can relocate there, I guess I could just do that dead easy. So maybe I'll let you off on this one.
You really... Okay, yes.
Appreciate it, but it really looks like we just robbed people.
Oh, darlings. Okay. You realize the current digital market is unstable.
Everyone knew the Bitcoin would crash.
Indeed. There's not a lot of security in that. So we have procured funds in a physical manner. And it is safe and secure for you.
I have important follow-up questions.
Indeed.
This is Mihan's. Mihan's having important.
Oh, I was like, please.
Okay, so if Harold does a flip through these bills, are these numbers sequential?
No, they're all the same. They're all in stacks of 100.
But are the numbers on the bills the serial numbers? Are they in sequence?
Oh, I would say yes.
Okay. And is this a bank wrapper that it's in?
Yes.
Great. Okay, so Harold says, okay, so it doesn't look like we robbed people. It looks like you robbed a bank.
No.
Money doesn't come out like this to people.
It does when you have the right connections.
If you're saying that you did something and went somewhere and stole the money, it's still
No.
the same thing.
No, we have direct lines of investment.
From the U.S. Treasury.
Amongst one government, yes.
Great.
It's a valid currency. I don't understand your quandaries here.
If Quan goes into a bank and he's carrying this, he's going to be arrested.
Damn it.
I'm difficult to understand. I know I am.
Oh, I did it to myself.
Especially since I was just saying in the private chat about the milk hose, we've literally got Quan dairies.
Oh, no.
Potato, don't clip that. Don't give him the satisfaction.
It's the first time I've ever seen someone unintentionally pun themselves.
Well, welcome. Yes, back to the currencies. So I am confused. Do you want a different form of compensation? I thought cold hard cash would be the easiest way for you.
Any one of us walking into a bank carrying money like this is going to be picked up immediately as being a bank robber. There's no way you put this into a bank and they take that as legal currency.
Nowadays, you are aware that all the serial numbers are there for a reason, right? So they would track it back to who? To us, to the OSR, and to which they would find no issue. They would be able to follow up, they could audit us, they can do whatever, but we have everything backed and appropriated in the correct means.
Hey, just real quick, important follow-up question. Am I talking to Dr. Baines or am I talking to Dr. Sontag?
Clearly not Dr. Sontag.
Okay, I didn't think so. I just wanted to make sure because I really don't like it. Fantastic job in the acting, though. Great character. Love the skill. Don't like the guy.
Fair. That's exactly what the intention was.
All right, fine. It's just one more way that we're stuck here doing whatever. We're already here for the study. So I don't really see a difference. We're not going to be leaving to spend the money right now.
Okay. And yet, still, you people aren't answering the question. If we either directly or indirectly are able to hone in on your abilities, that provides you with a moral dilemma to which you are not approaching. And we need you to discuss that amongst yourselves and maybe with us.
What moral dilemma would that be?
Should you have the power to travel across worlds, should you have the power to manipulate space in such a direct form, what do you want to do with that power?
All right, fine. Quan, I left your Phillip unit back at that warehouse.
Oh, it'll be fine. Probably needs a bit of alone time anyway.
It wasn't happy about it.
It was or wasn't happy about it?
No, it didn't like it at all.
Alright, it'll get used to it.
Dr. Maribeth just clicks on a remote, and now you have an entire wall filled with like surround sound screen of Philip lying on the ground, crying.
Yeah, if it's a test, I failed the test, okay? I get it. Look, I don't like the idea of you just letting us go out and do things and then pulling people back by some sort of imaginary fishing line or however that works.
I do apologize. I shouldn't have taken away an agency, but to be fair, you all signed a contract. You all agreed to this study, bless you. You all were aware of the situation, and I did give you fair warning that you needed to be back at a certain time. Quan didn't adhere to that time. Quite stubbornly, in fact. I believe that poor little AI was trying to explain to them that they needed to go. They didn't care.
I get very into my work.
Indeed. I would say you all have different levels of performance as we have studied. I still haven't quite decoded your genome and figured out what the common link is between you all. But we are approaching that problem separately. What were you to do if we just stopped the study right now and let you free?
Find another get-rich-quick scheme.
We go back to meeting people for charity.
Go somewhere else.
My Emery, you do feel a little under the weather. Why don't you go lay down? We can discuss this later.
And
Head to head.
she sort of not glares at you, but judges you silently. But she will go and lay down.
You're welcome to leave, Emery. I will leave it at that. I just hope you come back.
I will.
And the rest of you are able-bodied individuals. But now you are highly aware that you are unique. And you're trying to tell me you'll just find another get-rich-quick scheme or go about what you were doing before. Is that really going to satisfy you? That is exactly what you want? Would you not be driven mad by the curiosity of the potential that you had inside of you?
Wouldn't we just discover it anyway?
I'm sorry, what was that, Quan?
Wouldn't we just discover it anyway?
There was a very, very slim chance that you would unlock these powers individually.
Don't know, I got pretty close.
I mean,
Right.
is there a possibility if, I don't know, Quan built something similar to this room, that the four of us could do it the same as we could here?
So you would like to reproduce our studies? Is that what you're saying? That's exactly opposite of what you were saying earlier. That's so contradictory.
No, it's not. I said I wanted to figure out what you were doing back here.
Shut up. Yes, Quan, I understand. I see you are going down a path And that path is similar to ours. I want you to study. I want you to unlock these powers. I personally would like to see a little bit more about your history. Did you know that some people on Earth aren't derived from the Earth? It's a well-kept secret with the estate.
I mean, Scrat was going to make a "isn't it obvious" joke and then point out a person like a celebrity, but he can't think of anyone without singling out someone or some particular person, so he's bailing. Well, I mean, I guess it's possible, is what he's instead going to say.
Indeed.
I mean, I did ask if there were people that were cursed to this world, so, I mean, you said yes. So, I mean, this information isn't exactly new. If that's what you mean. That
This is true.
there are people that curse here, or do you mean that they were born some other way?
You are so interesting, Say. Yes. Yes, that is a good implication to come from my words.
You just said that they didn't come from the earth. So they're just not made up of materials that can...
Oh, I mean, everyone who looks like a human is carbon-based. That we've confirmed. But as you would imagine, politics here on Earth tend to be a little tricky. And with some of the more fleshed out recursions, their worlds are just as sticky. None of you dreaming of a different place to live? You are content with your time here? And with that silence, she kind of stares concernedly at Harold. I don't understand. You were driven here to check out this study for a reason, and yet you claim to want to go about your lives fairly normally after this. There's got to be a better intention than that.
I mean, if uptight Dr. whatever his name is right in any case, then apparently we can't do anything outside this room anyway. So if we left, there's nothing to do but go about our lives, right?
Probably work it out eventually. That's what I'm saying.
Quan, you do have a point. Once you realize a power, whether you can unlock it unaided, you know it's there. And that would be different than if you had not walked into the study and not known about it at all, correct?
I mean, I can't take that point away from you, but my research would have got me there eventually.
No. You can run those calculations, and you understand statistically, you would not, in this lifetime, have understood that you could have traveled in such a manner. Don't fool yourself.
Alright, let's say I agree. What's your point? Where are you going? Why do we want to travel?
That's a good question. That's exactly what I'm asking you. Do you want to travel? Do you want to go back home and never remember about this? We can make that happen too. Do you want to travel, Or do you want to leave this plane? Or do you want to extract things from other places to bring back to this plane? I just... You've been given a wealth of knowledge without details, and I want to see what you do with it. You're also intriguing.
I mostly just conjure cookies. And probably, given enough time, lab equipment.
Say is
see.
opening a bag of ketchup chips right now.
All the goodies. Harold, you have a peppered past. You have a great moral compass. You have innate abilities that you've known about. What does this mean to you?
What does it mean to me? Emery, Say, Quan. They've got neat abilities. They're part of the group that I'm interested in. You know, if something's going to happen to them, I'm going to stop it. You, I'm just really irritated by you, to be frank. You're just very pressing in a way that's uncomfortable for me. Him, pointing at Dr. Sontag, I really want to punch you. But I'm not going to do that, because that's going to get us in trouble right now. Look, really what I want to do, let's figure out what's going on. Let's go try things. Let's go see the worlds or however that works. But yeah, this is better than what I had before. Maybe there's some answers out there.
Must resist urge to sing Aladdin. I think after listening to you guys, Dr. Sontag is just going to huff off. I'm done with these folks, Baines. There are something better left observed through the screen for me. I have no desire to talk to them again. Please don't drag me in it unless absolutely necessary. I imagine you won't be useful to their personalities, so we will try to keep it purely statistics for you. He walks away, fades out. Dr. Maribeth kind of looks at you all, and she presents to each one of you a small sphere, like a large marble. Just a clear, cool to touch glass marble. She's like, this is a fragment of a gatekeeper. This will aid you, should you leave this room, to resonate with the powers within this room. So if Quan were to, let's say, try and recurse, you could explore safely, because we'll have the void set up in resonation with this marble. Should you try to do anything with your powers while not holding this marble, we can't guarantee your safety.
So what you're saying is we shouldn't lose our marbles.
Correct. Indeed. This is why I gave you a singular marble.
What happens if we've got more than one marble?
This is the most important marble.
All right.
I feel like there is nothing we can tell you at this point to convince you that we are of use for you, that we are not suspect. So I feel the best way to give you trust is to provide you with the tools you can do to travel on your own. I will say you won't be able to produce and manifest food or other byproducts like you can in this room. But with practice, you can travel. I ask that all you do is just sign in, sign out. Hopefully we'll see you again. I can assure you I will not drag you back the way I dragged Quan.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds less like we're being forced.
What was the point of the study?
You're still in it. We planned for such possibilities. And don't forget, we did take samples of you, so we can track you and observe you regardless.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in.
Good. Good to hear. Thank you, Harold.
Seems fair enough to me.
Yes, you are a flexible one, Quan. Your standards are something else. Say, have we given you an amount of good faith? Is this enough for you? Is there something else I can provide for you? Any questions I can answer?
Really, my displeasure was mostly because of Mr. Sumtag or whoever.
He is quite disagreeable. He's not the one known for pleasantries. I apologize.
I mean, like I said, it was not something I was displeased by being here. It was really more you're allowed to do this, you're allowed to do that. It really did feel kind of like almost children. So, but I guess that is how subjects in a study kind of work, right?
Indeed. Indeed.
So do you have like a control group, or is that just normal people?
Yes. Yes, we've had several people answer to the study over the past few months. Most of them are just normal people, sad about the world, feeling like they don't belong. Not many actually have a spark within them. So to find 4 so conveniently placed in the same group is very intriguing to me. Some, once they awakened that spark, they dived quite quickly, a little too deeply, much faster than either of you all. But their intentions were too malicious, trying to form armies, create, things that would benefit them or harm others. That's not exactly what we're looking for,
How do you deal with those types of people? If you think they're anything like us and can find out how to recurse outside of this room, then what's stopping them from keeping on doing what they're doing after they leave?
Well, we aren't bound to the rules of the estate, so a variety of options. We could scramble your minds. We could kind of rewind your mind to make sure you don't remember, and then just study you for the rest of your life to make sure you don't unintentionally awaken that spark. We could bubble you in a different world. It's fine. There are ways to handle people, and we've controlled this environment in a way that there's nothing that you can do that we can't control.
I guess that makes sense if someone is an active threat. So, after we leave, we're still in this test, right?
Yes. Yes. You are contractually obligated to be observed by us at the very minimum for the next, 2 weeks.
And if we don't find a way to recurse outside the room?
That's on you. If you would like to practice, then we can provide assets and a training. Up until now, it's been just like a sandbox, and we wanted to see what you would do with it. But if you have a genuine curiosity to develop the skills and train in them, I can have that arranged.
It was more asking what happens to your study if we don't figure it out.
A study is a study, purely for information. We're not looking to utilize you, yes, in a perfect world, the end solution is that you want to stay with us, work with us, develop those skills directly with us. But that is also not required of you. We would never place that upon you.
And if we continue after this study with you, would it be with you or for you? As a subject or as some kind of, I don't know, partner?
That's dependent on your intentions and what you desire. I will let you know that should you train in these abilities, it would probably be inevitable that the other organizations aware of the parallel worlds and the recursions, they would seek you out. I can promise you safety from them.
Okay. Well, in any case, I hope whatever the goal of your study is, it is helpful, and I may be back.
That's good to hear, darling. Good to hear. That's all we ask at this point, right?
I'm sure Quan will be back as well.
Oh, yes. Quan, we would love to eventually bring you on, Quan. Right now, you are part of the study and you're contractually obligated to allow us to limit your resources. But like I said, I gave you all this marble to resonate with this room so that you can train and attempt to recurs outside. I am not limiting you to this room. Apparently that is deemed malicious or manipulative, and I don't want to. I want you to trust us. When you are comfortable, that's when your powers will unlock.
I mean, okay, that sounds great. I mean, I don't think I've ever been comfortable in my life, but I'll try and figure that out too, and then we'll go from there. Is that some sort of serotonin part of the equation?
Possibly. It's a good route that we should study. We're definitely studying that.
Good.
Serotonin level in the brain.
Yes, because you can also fake that, you know, just pop a little in.
Well, you'll be given provisions as usual here in the room if should you choose to stay. I will be more available to you if you want to speak. And please don't hesitate to reach out to the OSR in terms of anything you want to train in. We would like to see you develop your skills. She's pointedly not making eye contact with any one of you for the past 5-10 minutes. Do you need anything else from me?
The goal of the study is to see how well we can recurse in a way.
It's to see your individual potentials, to see how your abilities manifest. Because, how do you say, the estate provides awakened people with a sort of manufactured, very uniform ability. And we're trying to see what exactly can a human do in other worlds.
So what if... Can I not just recurse or go somewhere else right here?
Absolutely. That was the point. That was the thing we were trying to bring to you. You guys definitely made a concerted attempt and found some sort of desert, I believe, the last time. Some people find it helpful to kind of, you know, binge watch their favorite shows, listen to some music, maybe read a book. All of the things you have to understand, all of the things that we create as humans become part of a universal consciousness. This is how you can say the recursions are powered, how they're manifested. Do you know there's a whole world based on just Halloween. Just the whole day of Halloween. All of the concepts, all the witches and jack-o'-lanterns and brooms. How trivial.
So you mean to say that the Young's common collective theory is not only correct, but that's what produces these recursions?
Indeed. That is not just a pipe dream or a crazy conspiracy theory.
Or blow me down?
Yes, Quan. Yes. Now, what would you guys like to do? I can facilitate places outside of the study, should you guys want to bunker down and study together. I don't recommend too much time spent alone, but you can travel freely, like I said. But what do you want to do?
I don't think I have much of a handle on it outside of this room, so I don't think it'll benefit me to try and recurse outside this room yet.
I can create anything I want here, right?
Yeah, you have been exercising that pretty superficially. I'd like to see how far that goes.
I want to say I finished that bag of chips. I am opening a second bag of chips.
Yes. You're making me
Salt
want
and
all the
vinegar this
candy.
time.
Ooh.
Hey, don't hate on Salt and Vinny. They
Ugh.
could.
My tongue turns at the thought.
There's lots of good flavors of chips.
There are. Just waiting for that sour cream and cheddar life, man.
So,
I must figure it out. What do you want? Do you want to travel to a specific world? Do you want to know about the worlds? I'm tired of playing the blank slate. Clearly, you guys are too hesitant to understand what's going on. So, what can I facilitate?
I mean, right now, the only thing I know about recursing is you do a thing and you think about where you want to go and being there. And then everything around you changes. That's about the extent of my knowledge on this. I'm not Quan, I'm not a scientist, and I'm not a doctor, so it doesn't make all that much sense to me. Just
It's okay. It doesn't have to. You're not here to make sense of it. You are not the scientist in this study, my dear. I'm here to... You only yellow. I hate you so much. Oh. You are here to provide us with a blind sense of curiosity. Okay? You have this ability. That is confirmed. We are here to provide you with the information. What do you want to know of? That's all. That's it. Do you want to become rich? Do you want to just travel a bunch of worlds? Do you want to learn how to draw? I don't know. Just trying to figure out your intentions here.
I mean, are you talking about what we want to do as in the thing that sets off our dopamine levels? Or are you talking about the greater thing that we think, oh, you know what, I could probably dedicate my life to that and that'd be a good use of my time?
I mean, if we're talking about the existential, yes, all of the above. What do you want to do in this study? Do you want to practice? Do you want us to show you how to recurse? What do you want to do with that ability? Is there something that'll make you happy while doing it?
Learn things about the other worlds.
Yeah?
Do the thing.
Start.
Do the things, you know. Complete objectives. Get the dopamine rewards. Make money.
Got it. So you want to gamify the research of recursions.
What do you mean gamify?
You know, video games, inherent rewards, explicit quests. No? Okay. Harold, help me out here, buddy. You're sensible.
I'm going to go where they go, and I'm going to keep them safe. That's all I want to do.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Look, Say or Quan, they're much more likely to have strong opinions about where we're going.
Sure. Sure. I mean, you don't have to have an opinion on where you're going. What are you doing? Is there someone you want to see? Is there a place? A smell? A sound?
Somewhere relaxing. Hot bath, maybe.
I don't know that I'm there yet. I don't know that I want to talk about that yet. Let's focus on Say and on Quan.
Okay, fair enough. I asked and you answered. I appreciate that. Well, from what I'm hearing, it sounds like you basically want to stay in here. Let me know if there's anything I can provide outside of what you can manifest. I'm hearing hot springs in your future. Loud and clear. That can be arranged. Colin, why?
I don't like this.
I already had a nasally character today. I don't know if I can do an entire narration in Gilbert Godfrey voice.
You gotta yell too.
How many experience points do we have to spend to not do that?
Yeah, 1 per every 5 minutes.
I'd like to spend every effort point I can possibly muster to make that not happen.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that can be arranged.
Suggestion 2 I would go with. I think Colin's got a good one there.
Oh my goodness. How many explosions can we have?
What he's not telling us is that's his next campaign he's going to be streaming.
I'm not saying no to that. I'm not saying I wouldn't want to be a part of that. Just saying. If you guys have nothing else to talk to Dr. Maribeth about, she'll walk away. You guys are essentially given the keys to the castle, right? You're given these tools. You're able to come and go from the study as you please, just with the explicit knowledge that they're observing every action that you have. They have promised not to pull you back into this room so violently as they did with Quan, but that's about the only thing they promised not to do.
I did have one thing.
Mm-hmm.
At the absolute last minute, when Dr. Baines is leaving the room,
Mhm.
I go ask her, I tell her I need to go out for about 45 minutes. I need to go get Philip back.
That's very sweet of you. I can't fault you for that. You already know of the location, so.
Yeah, I'll run here and there. I mean, I need to go get it back. It's Quan's. I left it there on purpose.
Understandable. I appreciate that. Oh, I should mention those marbles don't translate space transference. So wherever you translate from, that exact space will be where you're at in a new world, and vice versa. You will come back to that exact space. So I recommend for now not trying to just, Harry Potter apparate in and out from different spaces.
So we'll be in California everywhere, sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. In rudimentary terms, yes. Yes, it's fine.
Can I have a second marble?
No?
Quan, I just need like 5 minutes with the doctor.
Sorry, Harold. I'll let you back.
You're being greedy, Quan. You don't need a second marble.
Look, you can debate the second marble thing with him. I'll just be right back.
Okay. On a mission to get Philip. You get to the office and you just hear the saddest powering down.
Philip. Hey, let's, I'll take you back to Quan.
You came back for me. Darling, you came back. I've never loved anything.
Philip, I didn't ask you to start talking again.
Okay. I will shut up. I will try not to sniffle too hard if it means
No.
that you bring it back to You could probably hear the muffled version of once Philip was calmed down, halfway through your trek back. They're trying to navigate you the way the satellite map would be this is the official way, and you're just going through all the side streets and the smart way, and they're no, that's not how you shouldn't just turn left there and no.
The worst part of having very good hearing is they're in my pocket, and I can hear all this very clearly. Don't get superpowers, kids.
You make it back. Same side slide. No problemo.
I go over to Quan's room.
Yes.
Hey, Quan.
Yes.
Look, I got your Philip back.
Oh, thank you.
Give me my medical! You left me. You didn't come back for me.
Okay, enjoy.
Cheers, Harold. I put it in my ear. What are you saying? I can't hear you when you're doing all that business.
You're an asshole! Why did you leave me? I was trying to help and then you left me helpless.
I was translating Philip.
No, you weren't.
Well, I did. I just didn't realize I didn't intend to do it. I have to figure out what these marbles contain that let us do it.
A marble? You tried to replace me with a marble?
Yes.
What? Okay, well, fine.
I wonder if the marble translates with us.
Quan, I need you to do me a computer favor.
What's a computer favor, Philip?
Take the emotions. Even if you can't program them all the way out, just take them. They're on overdrive, and that's why everyone hates me, and I don't want to be hated anymore, and I feel like this is just too much. I just can't handle this. Please help me. I just want my monocle back.
Give me 2 minutes, Philip.
For the monocle or for the emotions?
A bit of column A and a bit of column B.
Okay.
And I'm going to conjure a computer in the room. And write a program.
In Python.
Yeah, why not? In Python. The program I'm going to write is called Staggered Serotonin Release. And I'm going to give it to Philip in the hope that it calms down his emotions.
You just programmed coding as an antidepressant into your little bot earpiece.
Yes, I did.
Oh man, I love it. Roll me an intellect check and let me know if you have any skills.
Do I have any skills? That's a good question. I did have some things that might be useful. Modify device? Sounds good. I can jury rig a piece of magical equipment. I need to use 1d6 times $100 in spare parts. Conjure.
You just made it rain. She gave you a stack of wads. Fine.
Have a field science kit, which I have in my lab coat, but I'm also conjuring a much better one. And succeed at a difficulty-free intellect-based task.
Okay. 9 or better.
9 or better. So I will, I think, put 1 level of effort into this.
So Phil say in Quanon's in the middle of programming Philip a antidepressant program in order to help level out his dopamine. Assuming that's the problem here.
This is Zelda talking. That is my robot son.
So true.
I love it.
Win got your son. It's fine now.
Good.
Oh, you got a 9. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Brilliant. Yes.
So, I'd be saying to Philip, now look, Philip, we'll have to try a few things. If this doesn't work out for you, let me know and we'll change the coding values a little bit. But hopefully this will be just right.
Is it a slow release, or like how long do you think it'll take to affect my pros? Okay. Okay. I'll let you know if I'm feeling better. I feel a little calm. I don't feel like the need to squeak and...
I'm not the best coder, so you might get some, vertigo, a little bit of sickness, and all of those other side effects, but they should fade over time.
Okay. That's fair. Well, can I have my monocle back?
Oh, can't you just conjure one?
No.
Oh. Sure, here's a monocle.
Oh, yes! I got a monocle back! I can see everyone!
Okay, Philip. Shut down. Connell, get a little bit of sleep.
My poor bot son. He's been through so much today.
So true.
Oh.
Stop hurting him.
Yeah. Philip would have obviously responded immediately and shut down, but you would, if you have like a monitor hooked up to the program, you would have seen a spike in like glitch area, like essentially equating to a confusion. Maybe a smidge of hurt.
They'll get over that. They will get there later. They obviously need some sleep. They were just overtired.
Oh, goodness gracious. My poor boy. Okay, really quick. Say and Hans, how would you like to frame out the end of this day for you?
Hero just kicks his boots off, rolls onto the bed, looking up at the ceiling, arms crossed, doing his best to fall asleep.
I am thinking very, very, very hard about a warm, hot bath with all of the herbal fixins.
Like Spirited Away onsen style?
Definitely onsen style.
Okay. Yeah, if you're in your quarters, a tub with wooden slats surrounding it, encasing the plastic inside, will appear, and there'll be a little pull handle from the ceiling. A couple tags for you to attach to that pull handle, and you can pick between chamomile lavender, a honey vanilla, or a jasmine.
Oh, absolutely. Chamomile lavender.
Yep. No problemo. And it comes pouring steamy hot out of the ceiling as soon as you pull that tag up. And you have a bath full of relaxing medicinal powers for you to enjoy.
This might actually be the best.
Just wait till the hot is out.
I am absolutely stepping into this water, obviously not fully clothed.
You could ease into the bathtub. It's the perfect temperature, and as soon as you sidle in, there's a little neck pillow when you lay back. You feel like you could fall asleep in the tub.
With how long she's been up, probably might. That is a full possibility.
If you do end up falling asleep in the tub, the water oddly doesn't regulate, doesn't get colder. It just stays at perfect warm temperature.
It's all I want in life.
So good. A bath that doesn't cool.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm just gonna lay in that bath probably until I fall asleep. And then hope I don't come out looking like a prune.
I mean, your pruny bits generally are clothed, I assume, so. Unless, like, the silicone, like, skin from your prosthetics has the ability to absorb water somehow and prune. Like, how close are we in technology to, like, really...
I mean, I don't have coverings on. The coverings that I had in the desert are probably gone.
Oh, that's true. So they're just, like, high-quality water resistant.
Yeah.
Would they make a silicone skin that kept water closer to the machinery? I gotta say, I don't think that's gonna pass.
That's
Asking
fair.
for it. GM intrusion.
You all get a very well-deserved restful piece of sleep. And you wake up at your leisure. No alarm clocks. What time would you wake up? If your internal clock told you so.
5 hours and 37 minutes after I go to sleep.
5 a.m. for my run.
Jess, we all run at 5 a.m.
Damn it! No! My nocturnal heart hurts. Listen, there's not a Tai Chi program built into one of those days out of the week. I don't prescribe to this cardio. You all wake up early morning wise. We already know Harold's general disposition and schedule in the morning. How would Say wake up? Would you be a little startled that you're still in the bathtub? Still cozy, sauna-like?
Do I feel very pruny and or disgusting from being in a bath all night? Is probably the biggest question.
I've only experienced pruny appendages, so I feel like no.
If I don't feel gross and pruny, probably waking up as if waking out of a warm bed. And strangely enough, not that bad. Did enjoy sleeping in the bath in the onsen. So, definitely
It was kind of a
call it-
net neutral because like the way you were laying in the tub wouldn't just be like the most ideal in terms of spine adjustments, but also the water was so warm and relaxing that your muscles had a chance to unwind. So it was kind of like, I feel refreshed but not amazing.
That's fair. I'm gonna probably wake up and obviously towel off and try and put new clothes on because I have fresh clothes that are mine and not fake clothes.
Yeah,
Fake thought clothes.
that is something oddly reassuring to you, something that you didn't have that you kind of anchors you into who you are. Is there any food that you would like to procure or coffee or anything?
Oh, definitely coffee and probably pancakes. Like a good stack of fluffy
After
pancakes.
you've dressed, and if you walk out into the common space, you would notice that the rooms don't take up space. The common space is still just a white industrial room. You just somehow are able to walk into your space through your consciousness. And you would see a giant feast table laid out with all sorts of range of hearty to healthy to unhealthy sorts of breakfast foods, and at least 5 different brews of coffee.
And Harold is already there. He has already gotten a very large mug of coffee and is just basically eating eggs off of a plate directly over the buffet table. He's wearing the same clothes he was wearing last night. What were the choices here?
Any choice. Over easy, over medium,
those.
scrambled.
Yeah, the ones that were closest, he took those
Eggies
ones.
in a basket.
Just a big pile of over easy eggs that he's eating on a plate over the top of the buffet table and drinking coffee noisily.
Sick.
I'm gonna I Spy with Idle that table and just say, "You stay warm," and then I'm gonna start jogging around the room.
Do your little warm-ups. I love it.
I must convert my love of food over into say. Please stay warm.
Quan, 5 hours and 47 minutes from you going to sleep. You awaken and you kind of hear faint pitter-patters of someone jogging.
Oh, great. Okay, Philip. Start up. What's my schedule for today?
Wow! Wow, you haven't powered me down via voice command in such a long time. Wait. Your schedule for today. You have nothing on the schedule?
Alright. So then I think we should spend 2 hours in the great libraries of the great philosophers of the time. Mind, we can go and read the original documents. We should spend 3 hours trying to learn about the recursions of other places. And then another 2 hours eating and drinking. You can fit them in where you like. Leave the rest of the schedule clear.
I will distribute those in the most optimal places throughout the day. You should probably eat soon, within the next 40 minutes.
Oh, good point. We can still conjure stuff in this room, right?
I don't know, can you?
Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
Chunky Monkey appears in your hand.
Perfect.
You did not conjure a spoon.
No, I did not.
So you stay in your room with Philip.
Well,
Your day schedule.
until I finish. I start to get brain freeze, and I learnt that you can put your tongue against the top of your mouth against the artery. That's it, or your thumb, yes, and that freezes it, heals it. And then I will start getting ready to go about my day, I guess.
As you get that brain freeze and try to press, are you pressing your tongue or your thumb up against the roof of your mouth?
Both. I'm gonna press my thumb against my tongue against the roof of my mouth. So like that.
Okay. I was gonna make you roll a might, but that's combined efforts. You can't go wrong with that. I'm gonna have to try that next time I get a brain freeze. Okay, so have you conjured up any sort of... What would you like to conjure up in your private room, Quad?
Well, I would have already conjured the bed to about a third of the size. It's just like a small slab in the corner now out of the way, so the rest of the room can be devoted to computers and workstations and generators and lights and blackboards and whiteboards, and it's a completely different room.
Okay. I would say you are able to do that fairly easily. It would take some time.
It wouldn't be all at once. I think I'd be walking like I need a workstation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need a workstation there. You know, just like as I need things, I'm just conjuring them, but never deconjuring anything.
No, yeah, pretty piecemeal. Pretty collage-worthy.
Yeah. Not town planned. Where do I want this one? Oh shit, I ran out of room. In the middle.
Oh, God. Everyone's cringing at your layout. Mind you, you haven't thought to conjure a bigger space. No.
I like to respect boundaries.
Yeah, of course. To clarify, are you staying in the room?
No, I would come out and see everyone. I can hear someone running, and I whilst the thought of athletics terrifies me, I would assume that it's Say and go and say hello.
As they zip by. Hello!
You can see me waving as I keep going.
Harold's still eating, just kind of cocks an eyebrow at you.
Yeah. If you look over at Harold, you clearly see this beautiful banquet of breakfast foods, fountains of coffee brews. Anything to tempt you?
I'll walk along the table.
Perhaps some strawberry cream cheese French toast.
Yeah.
It's not sweet enough.
Are there any Lucky
Fresh
Charms?
There are chocolate Lucky Charms.
I'll grab some Lucky Charms, but I'm not going to pour milk on them. Is there any Mountain Dew?
Please stop.
There is not unless you decide to conjure some.
Well, if you're going to twist my arm like that, I conjure Mountain Dew and pour it on the chocolate Lucky Charms.
It makes an odd crackling sound and leads into a very, very mute brown congealed mess.
I'm so happy. I'm just going to start eating it. Just shoveling it in.
Is this where you use the safety system?
Seriously.
Oh, approaching the area.
So bad.
Okay, chocolate Lucky Charms poured over a fresh fountain of Mountain Dew. Is that all you consume for breakfast, aside from your Junkie Monkey ice cream?
Yes. That seems to have all of the staples covered.
No cleanser, no tea, no nothing.
Well, now you mention it, I haven't brushed my teeth in quite a while. So I'll have an after 8 mint.
I need you to make me a might defense roll, please.
I'm not very good at those.
Is he defending against tooth decay?
One can assume it's some sort of constitution check. You know what? No. I'm spending a GM reroll for that.
This is so worth it.
I don't prescribe to that 19.
Let's spend the rest of the game session just working on Kwan's oral hygiene. I think that's very worth it.
Oh.
Yep. I take this 4. And after that mint settles in your stomach, you feel a big rumble. And you are disgruntled. And at the same time, Philip is buzzing in your ear, being like, it's time to begin your research. How are you feeling, Quan?
Not great, but I've got a plan. Harold, lovely seeing you. If anyone needs me, I'll be in the library. And I'd like to go into the big white room and change it into one of them ancient, tablet-written libraries where I can read libraries, and then at the same time see if I can conjure a toilet. So I've got some toilet reading.
In the big white room?
I'll conjure a screen.
Oh my god.
I will say you could probably manifest a small tablet with direct access to all the library sources. You do not conjure an entire library. You do conjure a porcelain John. And a privacy screen with acoustic foam and soundproofing.
I really hope that Scrat never wins the lottery. Just so we're clear. Not like a crazy amount of money. That can't happen, because this will happen.
Oh, the sad part is, I'm right there with Quan. I would be that guy.
Okay.
I'm sticking with you, Hans. Don't worry.
Zelda and I can have our own very sane version of this stream.
So yeah, unlike your own personal quarters where you sleep, this little space you've created is very visual, and you Say and Harold watch you walk into this essentially porta potty and grab this tablet and close the door and hope they don't hear any rumbles. But you're left in there for a undisturbed, unequivocal amount of time. Quad. Harold's consuming egg upon egg. So many eggs. All those gibbly, beautiful eggs.
Harold has very good hearing. There's no way he's going in there.
Oregon Trail dysentery for the win. Say you finish up with your jog, you slow down, the banquet table is still full of hot foods that are supposed to be hot, cold foods that are supposed to be cold. Clearly no gross depictions of breakfast. Nothing sacrilegious to what you would prescribe to being breakfast. What do you pick up?
Not chocolate Lucky Charms. Definitely the stack of pancakes. And if I can find an omelet with lots and lots of vegetables and good things in it, that's probably where I'm gonna land. As well as a nice cup of coffee.
Easy peasy. There's an omelet bar, so they've got all of the fixings you could possibly want, several sorts of cheeses, and instead of like a waffle iron at the end, there's a cute little omelet maker there. Those things are hella nifty, by the way. And you're able to make the perfect omelet that you would want with all the garnishments, mushrooms if you so desire.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm sorry, you said tea or coffee for a say?
Coffee. And for anyone who's not American, I'm getting a double-double.
That sounds like
everyone who's just Canadian. It's a double-double.
Double.
It's
like
2
a
cream,
quad.
2 sugar.
Oh.
Double.
Builders.
2 cream, 2
Builders tea.
Cream and sugar. How does Harold respond to the cream and sugar scenario going on over on Say's end?
That is so far down my priority list right now. Harold's unfazed by that. He's hearing things that he's trying not to hear, and he's just drinking coffee and eating eggs and eating less food now.
I will say Quan probably wouldn't care, but if Harold made known that they could hear, Quan could manifest a better soundproofing.
It's far too socially awkward for me.
I was going to say we'd have to breach that awful social gap there of I can hear you pooping. It's not a question you want to ask anyone or tell anyone ever, you know?
I mean, it's true, right? So, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I imagine an acoustic box that slides over top of that porta potty.
You can.
Blocking in all that sound.
Yeah, you
To be
can.
fair, none of us know that he's like reading scrolls in the bathroom while he's doing this, and you know,
Right. We're just
there's got to be a bathroom somewhere in this place.
mortified. Emery appears to not be as much of a morning riser as you all, so you're not really concerned. The morning is still young.
Emery wasn't feeling good. Should one of us like knock on the door or something just to make sure she's okay?
Sure. Do you want to do that?
Sure. I mean, I wouldn't want to wake her. It is still pretty early. Maybe a few more hours.
Yeah, I mean, however long you think she should rest.
Well, we'll give her a couple more hours, and then I'll knock and see if she's okay.
I can't stop picturing Harold just like doing squats while eating these eggs.
Harold's very sensible. Okay, so Harold is not running here at all because there's no point, because it's a single white room. You just keep running around. He'll go mad if he runs in this room. He's going to eat his food, then work out later on. Or not at all, because who knows what they're doing today.
That's fair. So Quan has Philip to fill up his day. How does Say want to go about their day after breakfast?
Well, considering I can somewhat summon an onsen in my bathroom or in my room, I feel like I could do more. That didn't seem that hard to do. Is there a way I could expand on this bathroom? This not bathroom, this bath, this wonderful creation that is now living inside of my personal quarters?
What does Say's heart desire? Fluffy towels, extra robes.
That sounds like a good start.
So you kind of superficially explore your powers privately in the room, just kind of expounding upon the bathroom.
Kind of. You see, like, I maybe change the walls of my room to match the onsen and just like continually building off of this just to make it, I don't know, look more full instead of just like a random bath.
Property Brothers Onsen Edition.
Exactly. Like nice steam room on the side maybe, or sauna. Just more things to relax and keep everything
You've
in
never
order.
felt so at peace as you're trying to create this lap of luxury in your private room. And it feels easier than anything you did inside the common space of the room. Like something just clicks for you. You can control the temperature of the water at a single thought. You can provide various shades of beige in your towels. You can change the thread count at will in your robe. There's nothing that you cannot change, and it's fairly quick. It seems almost too good to be true for you. How do you react to that? The ease, I mean.
I almost feel like I should be doing this out into the main room because this never comes so easily. It's like if I can do it here, it's basically like I got the hang of it out there, right? Like it should be the same difficulty level in a way.
That's a good thought.
Like if I walked out into the main room and decided, instead of white walls, could I just have like the sauna boards everywhere?
Do you want to go outside to attempt that?
Sure, you know what? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And if it does work, then I'd probably change it back.
Now, if you go outside, you realize how vast that space is. Are you concentrating on the entirety of the room or a specific wall?
I'm going to start where my door comes out and then just see if I can build it like a wave almost and see how far out I can go.
Okay. Give me an intellect roll.
Oh boy. That's a nat 1. I am going to use one of my many rerolls to at least not embarrass myself. That is an 8, and it beats a difficulty of 2.
Excellent, excellent. The second you step outside your room, you feel like it's not nearly as comfortable of a space to be in. You kind of feel like that itchiness on your skin almost. And you start concentrating on the wall and you look at it and you get like maybe a flicker of that onsen board style, but it doesn't stay permanently on the wall.
So gonna step back into the room. So this is gonna look weird. I just stepped out, looked at the door frame, and then went back into my room.
Mm-hmm. And that door, obviously, it opens and disappears upon you coming in or out of it. Like, no one else can go in the room with you.
Can they be invited into the room?
I don't know, are they vampires? It's a possibility nobody has tried, but you just realize that the door disappears as soon as you close it, so no one can follow you into the room.
Harold? I'm gonna open the door again.
You pop your head out.
You can see the door and everything when I come out, right?
The door to your room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it disappears when I close it.
Okay.
Could you enter the room if I invited you? Because, I mean, if the door is closed, you can't come in.
I don't know. Do you want me to try?
Sure, by all means.
Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to walk over to the door, wait for it to close, and then try to open it.
You reach for the door handle, but it's not really there.
I'm just going to open the door and see if he can walk through.
If you're holding in your consciousness a sense of welcome or expectation for Harold to walk through, you can walk through with ease.
Well, I am expecting him to be able to walk through a doorway, so...
Mm-hmm.
And he sees the exact same thing when he walks in as what I have?
All your renovations are there, laid out. Swagtastic onsen for the win.
I also think that's funny that you walk in and it's just like, oh, I see.
What does this say about Say?
Yeah.
I promise
So it
this
works,
really
right?
was, yeah. This really was a test on if you can come in and not that what is in the room is what matters. I was just thinking, I tried to do the same thing in here, out in the main room, and it really didn't work. And it made me think, would it be easier for me to recurse in my own room?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think I might try it.
Okay. Do you want me to go back outside or do you want me to stay here?
Would you rather be outside or stay here?
I mean, I trust you a lot more than Quan. You're probably much less likely to get yourself hurt, but on the other hand, I mean, I don't know which one's easier.
I'm sure, well, I mean, knowing him, he might actually hurt himself going to the washroom, but...
Yeah, I don't even know if I can leave this room if you leave.
You should be able to leave the room.
I mean, I don't know how it works.
There are certain fail-safes in here, in your disembodied voice.
Yep.
So is my theory correct then? Would recursing in here be easier than in the main room?
These rooms are essentially a hyper-concentrated pocket of a dimension that you are resonating with. So that is a good hypothesis that should be tested. I can neither confirm nor deny whether your success at recursion travels would be better here, out there, or on Earth. Ever suspicious, Miss Harold. Oh my gosh.
think for the sake of trying it, I might as well just try it.
Yeah, go for it.
And I'll throw up one of the tags on the pulley and just have the water come down just to get the room to steam up.
Oh, snaps. The water
Yeah.
comes pouring out into the hot tub, and the surface of the water itself seems a little shimmery.
I'm gonna take this whole like area that I'm in and try and just expand it, like I'm pushing the walls out and it's changing everything else with it. As if I'm just like a bubble getting bigger.
Okay. Roll me an intellect for translating, and then roll me a 1d100 for flavor.
Oh boy, I'm not good at it. An 11. And a 1d4?
100.
Oh, 1d100. Rule 1d100 is not gonna give me anything. 39.
Okay. With those results, you start to feel the walls expanding, and you see them in the beginning. But nothing is changing in terms of the actual content in the room. You do see a reflection in the water. And that's where we're going to fade out on you all. Harold, you notice the water is reflecting a forest of some kind.
All right, I'm on board with that.
Quan, your stomach rumbles weren't that bad. It was like a good morning dad poop, and we're done here.
Quan's a sitter, though. You know those people who just sit for an extraordinary amount of time?
Oh, okay. Yeah. And always risking, rolling that 1d100 for hemorrhoids.
Oh my god.
Extended periods of sitting on the toilet is not recommended by your doctor.
Dr. Jen.
I don't think Quan's ever spoken to a doctor in their life. But he does get lost in thought a lot. And at the moment, he's thinking about something that the doctor said yesterday about people not all being from their own recursions. So he went in with just a plate, and he was looking for references of people being from other places, and then thought, well, and would have probably conjured in the lavatory syringe and chemical equipment to remove some blood and start doing DNA analysis on himself to see where they're from.
That isn't sanitary.
Oh, God.
Your samples are contaminated.
Quan, why?
Not the DNA part.
This is not science. This is the worst science.
This crackpot science we didn't prescribe to.
Look, I am a strange paradox that conducts weird science. Would you let me live my best life, please?
Absolutely. That child science kit is looking so snazzy and sterile right now, but you managed to gather a syringe. You even, the room understood that you needed the syringe and you needed a sample piece of paper, like a little plastic chip to place a drop of the blood on. And you can see there's a spot in the tablet to insert it, as if to program an analysis into it.
Yeah, perfect. Well, I'll do that then. Well, that does spoil me dreams of getting a telescopic microscope. I've always dreamed of having one like a pirate's telescope that you zoom in and out like... Anyway, I'll plug it in and program it in.
It runs through a bunch of numbers. It does take some time. You slowly see that infinite spinning circle just idly
Alright.
processing. It's a powerful tablet, obviously. So like you could multitask if you want to read through all the fake news and social medias, or I don't know what Quan would idly read.
Probably Aristotle's original philosophical, concepts, like better to change than to be solid and all that sort of business.
Fair enough. The initial results come in they're essentially just reaffirming your original samples, because you took a sample of your blood and put it through a centrifuge, and then you took a sample of Say's blood, put it through a centrifuge.
Yes.
If I remember correctly. So it
And
confirmed.
I drank my sparkly gloop, and I used Say's sparkly gloop to try and fix their arm.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot. I was trying to not remember that detail.
I will reiterate, weird science.
I love you, Scrat. I love Quan. The tablet's initial results reaffirm that sparkly goop is not just akin to unicorn slimes. It's the potential for otherworldly travels. And you start to realize that these findings and the data that's presented before you is that the amount given in your blood is way too large to be a person directly from this earth. And that's where we're gonna leave you and everyone, sitting on the toilet, realizing you may not be from Earth.
As I get this information, we'll end with me conjuring a cup of tea and just having a sip.
Well, it's not Mortal Spheres if we can't have very visceral visuals from Juan and some sort of weird existential conversation into the void. Love you guys.
I'm now quantum-plating my life.
Yep.
Why do you hurt me like this?
Hey, don't worry, Jess. At least there are going to be so many clips of Scrat saying something and then you reacting viscerally to it. I mean, that'll last you at least a year.
I need to channel some sort of inner Hans. I don't have any zen when it comes to this game and reaction faces. I can't. I cannot. Oh, thank you, Potato, for existing and clipping all of these ridiculous moments.
Potato
is very good.
It's amazing. Thank you so much.
It's the real MVP. Thank you all, guys. I missed
That's
you.
true.
Yeah, we missed you too.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Guide us in this new form of closeout.
Yeah.
Kind of push it closer to the end, so I assume.
Yeah, that's totally cool. So what happens? We don't do a big leave anymore, guys. We're gonna head over to the Discord. We're gonna be in the curriculum section, and there's a section in there called Mortal Spheres, and we'll be talking about all our favourite parts there. We're going awfully professional, and you can go and see our credits now. We'll see you later. I've already faded it. Whoops. Bye. See you later. Awfully professional. Awfully professional. Catch you later, everyone. Keep evoking emotions. Bye.
Is it true that Jess is going to tell all the secrets of the campaign while we're in there?